In our linked int list class, we have a couple methods that make our linked list like an array list. And we have, so far we have remove, we have add, get, another add, and a toString method. Another basic method that we can implement is a nodeAt. And basically that tells you where the current position of a node is. We can use this same list as we've done before to mock an example. And what we're doing here is we are taking an index and returning the node. We are basically asking the code what value is at this index, and then our method is going to return that value. We need to make it public, and it's returning a list node, so we need to make it of type list node. We're going to call it nodeAt, and it's going to take a value index. Inside of our code, we are going to make a temporary list node. We almost always have to do this for our methods, so we don't mess with our current list and break it. And we're going to have to iterate through our list until we find the index. So we need a for loop. We need int I is equal to 0, and then we need I is less than index, and then we're just gonna do plus plus. Oh, we're gonna do I plus plus. From here, we're gonna do current is equal to current dot next. And if we are to test this, we can ask for the index 2. So our index is going to be 2. Our second index is 3, because this is 0, 1, 2. So our value is 3. We're going to need to return 3. When we look at this line, our value is equal to 1. And we are going to go into our loop 2 times, a 0th time and then a first time, because it needs to be less than 2. On our 0th loop, we're going to have current. So currently current is 1. It's going to equal current.next. So now it's going to equal 2. And then we're going to run through it again, and now it's going to equal the value 3. So we've got 3, which is why we don't need index minus 1. If it was index minus 1, it would only return 2, but we need the value 3. So now we have value 3 stored in current. So all we need to do now is return current. And that is our nodeAt method. Again, we are taking a index and returning the node at that index. We have made our listInt class have multiple methods so far, so it's a pretty good file to use when we're working with linked list. We have all of these classes here. We have a nodeAt, which returns the value at a current index. We have a remove method that removes a value at an index. We have an add method that adds a value at a certain index, and we have a get value that gets a value at an index. We have another add method that adds to the end of the list by just taking a value, and then we have a toString method that prints out the linked list. The last method that we're going to add in here is a size method so that we can get the size of our list. We're going to make it public, as all of these have to be. We're going to return an integer because it's going to be the size. We're going to call it size, and it's going to take no parameters. We are going to make a temporary storage. We're going to call it count and initialize it at 0. And then we are going to make a temporary list node called current, and we're going to set it equal to front. So our list is stored inside of current. We're going to have a while loop while current does not equal null, and this is so that we iterate through the entire loop. While current does not equal null, current is equal to current dot next, and this is basically incrementing through our list and just going through it until it reaches the end. And every time it goes up a node, we're going to increment count by 1, like this. And then once we've reached the end of our loop, we're going to break out and just return count, like this. And that is how we do our size method.